to West Rockford. Nolan Gentry working in over to Bob Washington. Elgin 38, West Rockford 25. Washington over to Gentry. Gentry back over to Rod Kaufman. Kaufman dribbling over the left-hand side. Free throw by Graybo is good. The push is on it, it's good. Elgin 38, West Rockford 27. Full court press, the ball is fired into Ailey. It hit him right in the face, but it's picked up by Paul Hudgens. Down the side to Gary Smith. Smith standing, holding on to it. Clock ticking away the seconds. 44, 43. Now 40 seconds to play in the first half. Gary Smith dribbling out in front. Working that ball back over to Paul Hudgens. Hudgens in the middle of the court. Working it right back over to Gary Smith, who dribbles over on the right-hand side of the court. Elgin 38, West Rockford 27. Now back over to Paul Hudgens. Hudgens feeds over to Gary Smith. Smith down the side, but dribbles back out, and he notices 18 seconds is still on that scoreboard clock to play in the second quarter. Back over to Gary Sigmeyer. And now Sigmeyer is fouled by Sigmeyer's free throw is good. Shot is in the air, and it's good. Elgin 40, West Rockford 27. 10 seconds to play in the second quarter. Washington over the right side, feeds down to Nolan Gentry, back over to Washington. Now Washington works that ball over to Fred Boschetta, tries a 10-foot shot. It is no good, and the ball is knocked around as the gun sounds. That is the end of the first half of play with the score, Elgin 40, West Rockford 27.
We came down, obviously, our jobbers were down. We'd played badly, and it just so happened that the Elgin locker room, which was a handball court, was right next to us. They're beating on the lockers. We heard the coach from Elgin come in and say, and rightly so, "You're the new state champions, boys." So it must have been 2 minutes after that. Throw in one more thing. Earl Sudduth, who was a cop, who was 6'6", he was kind of our bodyguard. He filled the whole doorway up. Alex came in, and I'm pretty close to this. Alex came in and said, "They think they won it. I'm proud of everybody in this locker room. It's too bad it has to end here," and walked out.
Well, at halftime, of course, we were down by 14 points, and we were a little bit on the frightened side, as I remember, to get that far down in the first half of the championship game. But it was quiet in our locker room. But we did hear the Elgin locker room, which was right next door, and they were going crazy, yelling and screaming, and I think at that point they felt they had the game won.
Trailing by 13 points, the tip goes over to West Rockford, over to Fred Boschetta, and the third quarter in the second half was underway. Down over to Rex Parker, back over to Kaufman, shoots a 15-footer, it's good! Rod Kaufman pushed the net with a 15-foot shot from the side. Elgin 40, West Rockford 29. West Rockford pressing out over the court. A long baseball pass comes down to Charlie Rako. Rako drives in from the free throw line. Shoots a one-hander. It's good. Rako hitting a jump shot for Elgin. Elgin 42, West Rockford 29. Ball is brought up now by Rex Parker for the West Rockford team. Parker works it over to Rod Kaufman. Kaufman works down the side of Gentry. The ball knocked away by Sigmeyer, and a foul. The free throw is good. It's up, it's good. Elgin 42, West Rockford 31. Gary Smith fires a long pass, sent it for Sigmeyer, way over his head, and it's West Rockford's ball to bring up court. So a looping pass from Gentry goes back over to Rex Parker. That's West Rockford controlling the basketball. Ball goes over to Rod Kaufman. Kaufman of West High works the ball over to Wessels, tries a right-handed hook shot, no good. The ball is taken off by Sigmeyer, tosses one down to Smith. Well, the ball's intercepted by Rod Kaufman of West High School. Kaufman drives in from the free throw line, feeds over to Nolan Gentry. Gentry holding that ball, turns around, lobs the pass over to Rod Kaufman. Elgin 42, West Rockford 31. Now back over to Nolan Gentry. Gentry feeds over to Wessels, pivots around, tries a 5-foot shot. It's short, no good. And it's rebounded by Charlie Rako of Elgin. Down to Paul Hudgens. A bounce pass over to Smith, knocked away by Rex Parker, but the ball went out of bounds into the crowd. It'll be awarded out of bounds to Elgin. Passing in will be Gary Smith. Comes back over to Hudgens. Over to Tom Ailey. Puts that one-handed shot up, no good. And the ball is taken off by Fred Boschetta, Rex Parker, and Gary Sigmeyer. And they're tied up. It'll be a jump ball. Ball up in the air. It's tapped over to Johnny Wessels of West Rockford. Back over to Nolan Gentry. Alex Parker bringing that ball up court for West Rockford. Elgin 42, West Rockford 31. Pass goes down the side to Kaufman. Back over to Boschetta. Over on the side of Wessels to shoot the 10-foot shot. Good. Johnny Wessels hitting a 10-footer for West Rockford. And the score is Elgin 42, West Rockford 33. A long pass goes down over to Sigmeyer of Elgin. West Rockford pressing out over the court. Sigmeyer in the corner gives it back over to Tom Ailey. Ailey along the side. Holds onto that basketball. Now he works it back out in front to Paul Hudgens. Hudgens holding on to it. Works the ball over to Tom Ailey. Ailey works it over to Charlie Rayco. Can't get in for the shot. Feeds out in the corner now to Hudgens. Tries a 10-footer. It's no good. The ball is taken off by Tom Ailey, but it's tipped away, and it goes over to Rex Parker now for West Rockford. And Parker brings the ball up court now for the Rockford team. Parker flips that pass over to Rod Kaufman. Kaufman dribbling over the side, trying a 20-foot shot. It's up. It's good. Rod Kaufman sniping away with a 20-footer from out front. And the score is now Elgin 42, West Rockford 35. And the third stanza. It'll be Elgin's ball out of bounds. Once again, West Rockford pressing out over the court. Paul Hudgens, long looping pass goes down to Tom Ailey. Ailey underneath the basket, lays it up. It's so good. They fight for that rebound. The ball's taken off by Nolan Gentry, who clears it back over to Fred Boschetta. And the ball goes across court. Back over to Rod Kaufman. Kaufman brings the ball up in the middle. Dribbling over the left-hand side, shoveling that pass over to Fred Boschetta, over to Nolan Gentry. Gentry gets in underneath there for a 5-foot shot. It's up. It is no good. And the ball is battered around. Settles ready at the foul line. He shoots. It's good. Lead again as he fires from the foul line. It's no good. A tip in by Gentry. No good. Another shot by Gentry. No good. And a foul called underneath the basket. And Garrett, the free throw is good. The shot's in the air. It is no good. The ball is tipped over to Gary Sigmeyer. He loses it. Flips the ball over his shoulder now to Hudgens, who brings the ball down court for Elgin. Hudgens dribbling out in front. Dribbling over the side. Stops. Turns around. Gives the ball back over to Charlie Rayco. Back over to Gary Smith. Gary Smith in the middle of court. Wheeling over the right-hand side. Down along the baseline. Down underneath. Dribbling over in the opposite side now. In the corner he gives to Hudgens, who shoots a 15-foot shot. It's so good. Ball taken off by John Wessels of West Rockford, who clears. Hands it over to Gentry, who tosses it right back over to Rex Parker. And it's Parker up court now for West Rockford. Elgin 42, West Rockford 37. The pass over to Boschetta. Now back over to Rex Parker. Parker flips that ball right back over to Rod Kaufman. Kaufman from 25 feet out fires to one-hander. It's no good. Rebounded by Wessels. His shot throw is good. Wessels in a 10-foot shot. And now West Rockford trails by just 3 points. Elgin 42, West Rockford 39. West Rockford pressing it over the court. A long pass goes down to Charlie Rayco. Rayco stops about 10 feet away from that basket. Picks up the rest of his white-shirted Elgin teammates. Roots that ball back out of front now to Paul Hudgens. Hudgens holding on to it. A bounce pass goes over to Tom Ailey. Ailey pivots around, and he's called for traveling. Working that ball in over to Kaufman. Kaufman brings it up past the black center line. Works that ball over to Fred Boschetta. Boschetta from the free throw line. Had the ball knocked away now by Hudgens. And Boschetta lunges for it once again, and they call for a jump ball. Rex Parker, but he couldn't hold on to it, and the ball got away from him. Landed right on the scorer's table. Out of the sidelines. And Elgin brings it up court. Pass from Hudgens goes over to Sigmeyer. Right back over to Hudgens. Hudgens dribbling over the side. Down in the corner. Tries a 10-foot shot from the side. Good. Elgin 44. West Rockford 39. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. Parker flips that pass over to Kaufman. Fires it over to Boschetta. Back out in front to Parker. Back over the side to Wessels. He shoots a 15-foot shot. No good. Rebounded by Kaufman. His shot's good. Kaufman shot from the side. Good for West Rockford. 44-41. A long pass from Gary Smith. Right over the head of Gary Sigmeyer. Out of bounds. And it's West Hight's ball to bring up. Wessels working over to Kaufman. Now back over to Rex Parker. Elgin 44. West Rockford 41. Down to Nolan Gentry. Nolan Gentry holding that ball. Working it back out in front now to Kaufman. Kaufman dribbling over the left-hand side. Spinning down in the corner. Hooks that ball in front. Once again to Rex Parker. Trying to push pass. Goes over to Fred Boschetta. He had the ball knocked away from him by Charlie Rayco. And it's picked up now by Paul Hudgens. Hudgens driving it, a bounce pass over to Rayco. Knocked away now by Rex Parker. And he went down underneath the Elgin basket. Passing in will be Tom Ailey. Flips the ball back over to Paul Hudgens. Hudgens works it back over to Gary Smith. Gary Smith in the upper half of the keyhole circle. Works it out on the side to Paul Hudgens. Hudgens tries a 10-foot shot from the side. No good. Rebounded by John Wessels of West Rockford. Back over to Nolan Gentry. Gentry works it up court to Rod Kaufman. Elgin 44, West Rockford 41. The pass over to Boschetta. Back over to Rex Parker from the free throw line. Jumps to the one-handed shot. It's up. It's short. No good. And the ball goes off out into the corner. It's picked up by Kaufman. His shot's good. Shot by Kaufman from the deep three. Kaufman shot from the side. Good for West Rockford. Smith took too long to throw that ball in for Elgin. So the ball will go out of bounds to West Rockford.
We had played our normal offense in the first half, which was to mostly get the ball to the big guys, Fred Boschella, Nolan, John. But John was struggling, and he was our big point man. And Freddie was playing well, and Nolan was playing okay, but we needed to have more points from the guards. So I took it on myself to start shooting more in the third quarter.
Mad here in this championship game. Fred Bochella turns right around.